Hey there, welcome back to the Win a Pageant podcast. I'm your coach, Alicia Darby. Now, this episode features a client of mine who agreed to 3 specific things: to be coachable, to be vulnerable, and to have her coaching session recorded and published in order to help you. So I know that a lot of women who haven't had pageant coaching before don't really know what to expect or how much can you really even get done in 30 minutes. So this client of mine agreed to have her session recorded in order to show you what gets done and how it gets done during a virtual coaching session. Okay. So I want you to listen to this call from 2 different perspectives. First of all, I want you to think, could pageant coaching, especially virtually, even be something that could help you in your pageant prep? I want you to be thinking about that. At the end of the video, I'll tell you how you could make that a reality for you. The second thing that I really want you to pay attention to is I want you to think the things that I'm sharing with her, the coaching that I'm giving her, how can you apply that coaching to your own pageant prep, okay? What are the things that she's learning in this and the skills that she's developing and the strategy that she's learning? How can you apply that to yourself? I'm so grateful that this client allowed me to record this call because I know a lot of the things that she learned during this call will support you in your pageant prep. So sit back with an open mind, maybe get a notepad and a pen handy because a lot of this coaching is going to apply to you too, all right? Enjoy. So I have the form that you submitted. So I've got a little bit of background on you, but tell me a little bit about how I can help you today.
Sure. So I have a pageant that's coming up mid-May. As of right now, it hasn't been rescheduled. And I was just looking to kind of brainstorm some ideas about what I could do kind of in lieu of in-person appearances, since we're pretty much on a stay at home until about beginning of May.
Yeah, good. Yep, totally. Okay, cool. So give me a little bit of background about what you have done in terms of like platform development and also like appearances you have done or that have gotten canceled.
Mm-hmm. So my platform kind of centers around, working with communities and working with youth. So the only appearance I've done so far was I got to serve on a panel for a group of students at my school where they were pitching their venture idea for funding. And we got to ask questions about, their presentation. So it was a little bit like Shark Tank.
Oh, cool. That's really cool. Yeah. I like that.
And then some appearances that I had wanted to do were to go out to local businesses and just kind of pitch to them if they would want to be considered to be added to the Pokemon Go game, because that's something that's like a huge hobby of mine. So kind of incorporating like tying in local businesses to that game, and also just to use my title to like make quick little videos for them like, hey, this is like a local business in town. Did you know about them? This is kind of what they do, and you should be supporting them right now, especially so for the restaurants that are like takeout and delivery right now.
Yeah. Oh, this is cool. I like this. Okay, so carrying communities, what is the biggest mission? Like, what's the bottom line goal of your platform? What are you hoping to achieve?
I'm just hoping to inspire people to kind of think twice before they go to a chain or a fast food, or maybe consider buying, from a local grocery store before like a bigger chain. And just to get out and look up from your phone and actually look at what's around you.
Oh, this is very cool. Okay, so oh my gosh. All right. I'm taking a bunch of notes. I'm cross-referencing what you sent me too, so we can kind of get our juices flowing. You mentioned that one of the interests you had was video. So have you done a lot of video before or video editing?
I have not.
Okay, not yet. But have you done video on camera work before?
For my job, we had just done a cable TV interview, and that was a learning experience because I got to see okay, when other people are talking, I'm kind of no expression on my face when I should be kind of smiling while I'm listening, and even while I'm talking as well is something I've been working on.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Okay, this is good. And then, well, cable TV, that was like, I was expecting you to say like you've done a couple selfie videos, but cable TV, that's kind of a big deal. So that's good.
Hmm.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
ask you about this. With your work right now, because you've been working in schools, so what
Mhm.
does your work look like now that you guys are you still meeting on schools or not right now?
No, so we're brainstorming as a staff of how to reach out to our students. So right now it's been a lot of emails, and we can't quite do video chat because we just have to make sure our students are 13 and above. And with seventh grade, it's like half and half. And our social media person would like us to just do little like 1 minute videos, sending them to her, being like, hey, I'm really sad that opening day is today and it's not actually happening. Or like, hey, here's me and my cat, just to kind of put that out there so students know, like, hey, we're experiencing the challenge of not being able to live normally right now.
Yeah. Okay, this is good. Have you done any of those videos yet?
I sent her one today. She hasn't posted it yet, but it was along the lines of like I was in my Red Sox jersey and I was like, I'm really sad baseball isn't happening today. What do you guys feel? And check your emails because I sent you an email.
I love it. Oh, that's good. That's cute. And check your email because I love that. That's cute. Okay, good. Well, first of all, it's awesome that you have a contact already in social media that is willing to like give advice and take those videos and do something with them. My suggestion would be because you know that person and you also know the raw footage that they are receiving, I would watch what they end up doing with that. Like, are they going to be posting them? Are they doing any editing? It's likely that they're not. And most people aren't right now.
Yeah.
What we're finding is that, and when I say right now, I mean like right now, the month of March, like doing videos, what's really doing very well is the stuff that feels very real and very like right now we're right in your house, like it feels like I'm right there with you. That type of video is working really well. It's almost like, this whole shelter in place, this worldwide self quarantine thing is almost making all of us feel like we're camping. It's almost like if you went with a group of friends and you went camping, you don't expect everybody to put makeup on. You don't expect everybody to be like, there's certain things that go out the door. Like everybody's wearing their pajamas, for example. And it's like, fine, like it's
Mm-hmm.
like for once, we're not trying to make everything look so, even the news stations are doing it from their home, with their kids crawling on them and whatever. It's a different world. This is a great, great, great time to start on video because it's the first time we're all equal. There's not a lot of production value, and that's what people like right now. So it's a great time for you to do this. So here's something you could consider. I'm guessing that a lot of the local businesses in your area, there are local businesses. You may already have relationships with them. Others you might not. Some of them are going to be answering their phone. Others aren't because they're just shut down. They're just not able to. Boutiques and things like that. Maybe they're not. But all of them are probably already thinking of ways that they wish others would support them. So everybody knows, okay, well, for my business, here's what I want people to do for me. So what if you were to start doing, and I just shared this with another girl because she had a similar interest to you as like getting online. And I think it's a good time. And you've got a great background. You've got a great look. You're obviously professional. You look good on camera, like all these things. What you could do is to start a series where you're interviewing local business owners right now. And you're familiar with the Shop Small. Are you familiar with Shop Small? That
Yes.
Okay, so that happens every year. I think it happens in February or January. I can't remember, but it's past. But that's something with that same kind of concept in mind for long term. So right now, it's a conversation of how can people support you even now. Like for example, my mom was saying how her hairdresser was giving if you bought $40 in like a gift certificate, you got $50. So it was like an additional 10. So it was like, please buy gift cards right now, even though we're not going to be able to service people, just to get an influx of funds that would help them. For others, it's like, hey, delivery services, or we'll deliver for free. Just buy from us, I walked to last week, like a week ago. And in California, we've been really shut down for like at least a week. But a week prior, one of the cafes in our area was still serving. They didn't do sit down, like eating in, but they also were selling like almost like a farmer's market. They were selling their eggs and their peppers and the things that didn't have a long shelf life that they knew they weren't going to be able to use up. They were selling them outside. So if somebody couldn't get eggs at the grocery store because they were running out, they could go there. So these types of creative ideas, it's going to help. First of all, it's going to help the consumer who's looking for eggs or who's like, okay, I'm willing to get on board with this whole shop small thing. I'll consider doing it this way. But it's also going to help other business owners to create new ideas for what they can be doing in their business. And we're having those conversations, those of us who are business owners, just like you're having with your people at work, your colleagues, when you're like, how are we going to do? What are we going to do this? Like, what are some things we can do? You have these brainstorms. That's what's happening in a lot of masterminds with business owners. You know, we're calling up our friends. Hey, what are you doing? How are you making this work? Like what's been happening? What's working? What's not working? Those types of conversations would be really great for you. So here's how you might start it. You might do one-on-one calls with people. So you could do it over Skype. I'm recording this call right now over Skype. So you could do it in the same way where you get Skype in the lower right-hand corner. You just tally up and hit start record, start it and finish it right there in Skype. And then they've got a copy and you've got a copy. You could do it that way. Upload it to Facebook or YouTube or wherever you want to like live for your show. Another thing you can consider doing is to gather a group of people together. So a group of local business owners in your area and get them all on the same page. This you might need for a virtual call like that. You might need something like Zoom or Google Hangouts. And if you needed to record it, then Zoom would probably be your best bet. I don't know if Google Hangouts, they're not as, although I'm sure they're changing a lot of things right now. So there might be another resource for you with that. But you would want multiple people on. And then you brainstorm. So you have a couple of questions for them. What's working right now and as you shift? What's not working? What are some things that you would like to see? How can you facilitate this kind of coming together of all these businesses? You know, like what ideas do they have and how can you support them? So those are the kind of things that I think will give you ideas. And then when they say, oh, well, Sarah, we would love if you would publish your interview, or if you do, I don't know if you're able to like go to their store, maybe not that, but perhaps you could, maybe they could go to their store and then do a little video and then you could publish that. You know, so thinking of ways that and these are things you, I'm sure, have thought of before, but but I definitely think that the lens of you want to make it a win-win-win-win-win all the way around, right? So it's a win for you because it's getting people to start thinking in the direction you want them to think. It's a win for them because they're getting publicity and they're able to share. And it's a win for the consumer because the consumer is not necessarily just being convinced to shop small, but they're also learning of new ways that they can get the stuff. Maybe they thought that they couldn't shop anymore because maybe they think, oh, well, the only place I can go is Target because, the farmer's market is out of eggs. Well, the farmer might say, I'm not, my chickens are still hatching eggs. You just call me up and I'll reserve some eggs for you. I'll drop them off at your house. But if they don't know, then they don't know, right? So that's what you want to see is like, how can we help the small businesses? How can we help the consumer? But then how do we help the community and the economy as a whole, right? So cool. So so I love the idea of doing interviews. I also think what could be useful is if you were to do, and you may have done this, have you done research online to see what are small, like those couple little things that I shared with you about the hairdresser with the gift cards and stuff? Are there other things that you've seen businesses do? Like, could you put together a list of like 50 things for small business owners? Do you have ideas like that?
I know like one business is giving away like, a roll of toilet paper with every like takeout order. And a lot of it is just like, call ahead. But I feel like I haven't seen like, oh, this is like our actual inventory at the moment.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So that could be interesting. If you were to be sort of the curator of ideas for what's out there. And like, probably if you just skimmed on social media, various hashtags like shop small or other hashtags like that, small business and things like that, and kind of gather what are people truly around the US, but also around the globe, what are small businesses doing to survive this, and put together a little list. That could be something that opens the doorway for you to communicate to small businesses where you say, hey, I've been gathering this list, but I would love to hear from you. And then you could probably right now, today is Thursday, I'm putting together a pageant summit for next week that starts on Monday. And it's starting on Monday. And yesterday I got the speakers together. Today I'm doing the marketing. The thing is starting on Monday. And it's for contestants, but it's also for the people who are service providers that are still working virtually. So who's out there that we don't have to meet in person, we can work virtually with, So if you think about, hey, who can I gather together? You could get on a call with these people probably tomorrow. Like, people are ready to have this conversation. So you could put this call together tomorrow, tonight, gather up 50 or so. Like, you could think up 50 yourself. I could probably think up 50, and I'm not even in this. You could figure this out easy. This is what you do. This should be easy. Think of 50 things and then reach out to people. Hey, I've been collecting this list, but I would love to get on call. Get 5 people, 7 people together in your network and brainstorm new ideas. What else can I add to this list? And then pitch the idea of, hey, I would love to do one-on-one calls with each of you, and ask them if they could do them all. You could do them back to back on Monday, 30 minutes or so, where they share what they're doing. If you do them all on Monday, you could have them pushed out. And I wouldn't do fancy editing or anything. You don't have to do anything like that. Like, just record it on Skype. And then you could, have you ever used, or do you have a Mac? Do you have a Mac?
No, I have Windows.
Oh, you have Windows. Okay. So there is also a Windows editing software. I can't remember what it's called, but it comes on the newer Windows. I think that it comes with it. It's it's the equivalent of iMovie. But that's something that you could use to edit. And you might not even need to edit if you just make it casual. Like I said, people don't want overly produced things right now. So whatever, if you cough in the middle of it, or if you just stand up and go get something or whatever, you're just like, hey, I'll be right back, and go do your thing and come back. Okay, here's what keep it to 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, publish it on YouTube, publish it on Facebook, wherever you can get it out, to kind of start drawing. You could even put it on IGTV, get it on your Instagram, post it to the places where people are having this, use the hashtags that others are using, which you'll find in your research, to kind of start this movement and be known in your area. But wouldn't it be cool if once you do this in your local area, you then call up some small businesses in Austin, Texas, or in Montgomery, Alabama, or in somewhere in Montana, and you start doing the same kind of thing in different states? Because every state right now, every state is in a different place. So some states are more shut down than others, but others are pretty soon that is going to be coming around to them perhaps. So if this content is already out there because you're on the forefront of it and you're like, all right, we're having this conversation in California and in New York right now because they're the most shut down states and they need the most revitalization. Start, of course, with your local area, but then it'll be easier to reach out and target those small businesses in other areas too, How do you feel about this? How does this sit with you?
It's a lot, but I love it. Just, to get to do the research and as long as you can emulate it and do the brunt work now, I think it's something that could be very impactful.
Totally. And truly, Sarah, what I would do is I would set a timer on your phone for 1 hour. And I would say, in the next hour, I am going to find ideas of what small business owners do. And you're going to do it through searching online, but probably searching hashtags more than anything, maybe asking around to some friends, text your friends, even if you only come up with 10 in that, and you might even, maybe the last 3 minutes, you're like, all right, I've got 3 minutes left and I only have 12. Let me think of 3 more just myself. What would I do if I owned a small business, and write them down. And even if it's whatever, if it's 10, that's fine. It's enough to start the conversation now. So that's 1 hour. And then you just put in a Word doc. Let's keep it simple, Then you reach out to the people in your area that have small businesses. Set set the timer for 1 hour and say, I'm going to find 5 people and I'm going to reach out to all 5 of those people. So you find them on Yelp or whatever. You probably have 5 contacts of businesses that you've gone to before. Call them. If they answer, you know what to say, that this is, you're putting together this group that is going to meet on a group call on Monday. Are they interested? And they're going to be like, yes, I would love to meet with other business owners. Or they're going to say, no, I'm sorry. We're way too busy. We're not going to be able to. We're scrambling. We don't have staff. We can't. Okay, move on to the next person. Ask the next person. Doesn't matter. Get 5 of them. You might have to ask 10 of them. Who knows? Probably most people will be like, yeah, we would love to be a part of this conversation to see what other business owners are doing as well and how we can kind of come together in this moment. Okay, then you will do that call. So then that's 2 hours of time to schedule it and to get those people going. Maybe it takes you 3, let's just say. Okay, now you say, okay, now I got to figure out the technology. Set a timer for 1 hour. The next hour, I'm going to figure this out. You're going to look on Google Hangouts and just Google Hangouts, multi-person video chat or something like that, and see if that's able to be done on Hangouts. Also check out Zoom. Zoom you can get for free. I don't know if you can record it for free. I think it's only up to like 45 minutes or something, that's all you'll need. But that's another option. So then you're going to take some time to put so research it. Only spend an hour, half hour researching it. Just pick one. Anyone will do. Then you'll send out the information and stuff to everybody. Okay, guys, here's the link that we'll be meeting on Monday at 8 a.m. or noon or whatever. And then get the thing out there, okay? Then you're going to start the conversation. Now you're going to have a ton of new ideas. Now you're going to be like, wow, this is great. And ask them, guys, I want to help. What can I do to help? How can I help on social media? Like, obviously you're not going to, come join their business, but you want to help on social media and say, here's what can we do, record these interviews. Well, now you've already figured out the technology and you've already figured out exactly how to do it. You've got your 5 people right there. Start with them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, then reassess. Okay, now what do I need to do? Because you might even be able to do them on the following Saturday or in the evening or something like that, or maybe even right then. I don't know what your workday looks like now, but you might be able to just bang them out right away, and say, okay, in one day you set up your setting just like this and you do the first interview, then you take a little break for 30 minutes, you do the second interview, take a little break, do the third interview, and then just boom, boom, put them up on social media. Then after that, you'll say, okay, here's what made this work and here's what made this terrible. Then you'll have new insights for, okay, what can we repeat to get rid of the terrible stuff and do more of the great stuff? And it might be that it doesn't work at all. Maybe you're like, man, I hated that. I don't like doing videos like this, Or maybe you'll be like, okay, these are way too long. I need to make them shorter. Or that they're not working because the business isn't sharing them. And so you'll be like, hey, to the business, hey, I made this video for you. Like, here's the link to share. Please share it, So so keep it small and set a timer for all things. Be like, I'm only going to, because you could spend 3 hours researching technology, which is the best one and just get it done. Done is better than perfect, because if you try to make it perfect, it's never going to get done. Right. So just get it out. Right. That's the main thing, is to just get it out, and then when it's time to reassess, then you're like, okay, now you'll have tons of new ideas. By then you're going to think of all kinds of new cool stuff that will naturally come to you, because now the conversation has been started. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Does this feel good?
Yes, I was lost, and now I'm like, all right, I got a plan going.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Good. A good strategy for you here. Yeah. So, so you mentioned personal appearances. Some other thing that you might consider is, even creating if you were to do this, let's say that you did this first part of it in the next week or 2 weeks, perhaps, by the time, with work and all the stuff you have going on personally and stuff, by the time you really get it, I don't know how much time you have. Some people have tons of time on their hands. Other people are swamped. So who knows where you're at, but let's say that it takes a week or 2 weeks or so to get this out. After that, then by then you might have a little bit of traction to start, and who knows what by then will be opening. So now people might be coming to you as a resource because they're finding you or you're finding them. Maybe somebody's already put together a thing like this that says, hey, here's how small businesses can thrive in a online market or something, like maybe those already exist. Well, now you can link up with those people and start the conversation. Hey, I'm doing this thing for my local community. Is there anything I can do to support you? What else can be done? And now you're getting interviewed for the work that you've done locally, right? But it's like start that locally so that you have a thing that's like your thing. Like, yep, I did this local. I did a video series with 5 local businesses and here's how it went, and here's where it's at. And now people can find it on YouTube or wherever and start to kind of follow your path, Yeah. Cool. This is exciting. This is like perfect timing for you. Oh my gosh. Like so perfect that this is happening. And it's awesome because you do have the time because of the fact that this is on people's minds. If it weren't happening at this perfect time, then it would be harder to get local businesses to like jump on board and be like, oh yeah, let's talk about this. But right now people are like, please talk to me about this. So it's perfect timing that you'll get that traction that you need so that when your pageant does roll around in May, or if they decide to move it or whatever, you're ready to go. And who knows where it's going to go between now and then. It's only March right now. So this thing could take off the next month and all of a sudden you get really out there. That would be awesome. I hope that happens for you, That would be cool.
I hope so.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely. Cool. Good. Any other like parting questions or other things that you have for me, Sarah?
Yeah. Just in case like little edits do need to happen, are there any phone apps that could help?
Oh yeah. Let me find the one that I use. Let me pull it up here. Video Shop. So there's this Video Shop is like, and I don't know if it is paid now, if you have to pay for it or not. But either way, that one could be a good one. Also, if you have do you have an iPhone? No. Okay. Because everything I use is Mac. But Video Shop would be a good one. I'm like scrolling through all the ones here that I have to see which other ones might you use. With this one, I'm sure there's others. That one not so much. But yeah, Video Shop I think would be the best resource for that because it's so easy to use. You're able to put music, which I don't think you need to have music or anything fancy right now. I would just do version 1 and get it out there. Then you can improve it as you go. You might find that if you ask 10 people, maybe all 10 of them say yes, but you might be like, wow, 10? By the 3rd video, you might be like, oh, I'm getting kind of good at this editing thing. I'm going to get fancy. And you start adding transitions or adding whatever, like who knows what will come of this. But the goal would be to just get the first few done because you'll learn as you go, So don't feel, again, done is better than perfect. You want it to just be done because people need the information right now, But yeah, Video Shop, I would check that one out. I'm sure a Google search would pull up others that you could try too. Good question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Anything else?
No, thank you so much for all your help. This was useful.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. Awesome. Hopefully that gets you back up and running as a pageant girl, back in the spotlight.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, dear. Keep me posted. Let me know how it goes, okay? I'll be curious to hear.
All right, absolutely.
Ooh, wasn't that good stuff? Oh, I hope you learned so much from her. I know I had so much fun doing this strategy call with her as we usually do. It's fun. So 2 things. If you need to hear more of these strategy sessions because they're so good and you can learn so much from them, then just search strategy sessions because I have a few more clients that also agreed to be recorded. So you'll be able to look at the behind the scenes of their calls as well. And then if you are ready to schedule your strategy session, you can go to winapageant.com/coaching. That's going to take you to my calendar so you can see what appointments are available and when you can book yours. And you'll also see pricing options there, which types of calls are available and how much do each of them cost. And you can book your call directly from there. I cannot wait to work with you. Head over to winapageant.com/coaching to check it out. I'll see you next time.